Well, the internet computer is moving very quick. We are now coming out of the World Computer Summit, which is the Internet Computer and Definity's global conference, where they kind of went over and have gone over and shown us what they have been working on, what they are releasing, and what the future holds for the internet computer. And part of this was we heard of new things that Definity is doing, new projects and products that the developers within the ecosystem are achieving and trying to achieve. And more importantly, we've been hearing from more and more large scale investors and accelerator programs that are focusing and really zeroing in on what internet computer is doing here. Because this is unlike any other thing that we've seen in the crypto or blockchain ecosystem. And by the way, internet computer is the only, let's be clear, the only blockchain or any similar kind of capabilities, right? Hashgraph and all of that. The only blockchain crypto that is capable of compute on a very large scale and also artificial intelligence compute. And so I just recently on this channel did a video called ICP Gets Noticed by Big AI. I would definitely recommend watching that video. Just type that in here on YouTube, type the Cryptoviser, ICP Noticed by Big AI. In that video, I lay out how Sam Altman from OpenAI is aware of what the internet computer is achieving and trying to become dominant in the global AI space. And it seems like they are doing just that. And so now Internet Computer has just launched what they call the ICP Alliance. And in today's video, we're going to explore what the ICP Alliance is and how Internet Computer is achieving greatness in the blockchain space. And by the way, nobody is noticing this. Nobody's noticing. We're like one of the only YouTube channels that talk about internet computer and break down what the ICP ecosystem is doing on a regular basis. And in today's video, we're going to break it down a little bit further and let you guys decide for yourselves, is internet computer the #1 crypto and the #1 AI technology in the world? And so before we get into everything, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. We upload every single day on this channel to bring you the latest happening in the financial world. Sometimes we do deep dives into these different ecosystems like internet computer. And sometimes we just talk about the global macro market environment to understand where we need to position our portfolios. Nothing I say on this channel is financial advice. Do me a favor though, give the video a free thumbs up. Thumbs up are free. Crypto is not, especially internet computer. It's not free. It's not expensive, but it's also not free. Thumbs up are always free. Anyway, let's get right into it. We're going to be starting right here because Dominic just posted this. And Dominic is the chief scientist and head researcher at Definity Foundation, which effectively develops the internet computer, also known as the world computer. Dominic said, wait till you see what's coming. In my opinion, this will 10x within months. Now, what exactly is he talking about here? Well, it's something that we've been talking about on this channel. By the way, I'm pretty sure Dominic watches the channel. Dominic, if you do watch the channel, consider becoming a channel member down below by clicking the join button and becoming a channel member. I'd really appreciate that. And that goes for everybody watching the video as well. But we would love Dominic to become a channel member. Anyway, so the transaction throughput. Now, we've been covering this pretty much all year. I mean, I think this is the premier ICP crypto channel right now. Maybe not. That's not what I'm trying to become. I'm just trying to give you guys my analysis of these markets every single day. None of this is financial advice. And I don't even talk about my portfolio holdings anymore, right? I may hold ICP. I may not hold ICP. I don't think it really matters when it comes to my analysis in the market and especially where we are in the cycle. And so we have covered on this channel the transaction throughput as of recently has significantly surpassed the throughput of the next fastest chain. And so for years, we have seen Solana be the fastest chain. And I think a lot of this comes out of 2021 when Solana kept going down over and over and over and over. And it was just because it couldn't handle the throughput. It couldn't handle the transactions. And so they fixed it and they increased their transaction per second throughput. And now, even today, they're at about 4,000 to 6,000 transactions per second, depending on the network activity, but between 4,000 and 6,000. This is significantly more than every other blockchain. I mean, every other blockchain is like under 100 transactions per second, consistently. Internet computer has now achieved At the peak, 12,000 transactions per second, but 8,000 on average. And today, when I'm recording this video, you can see that we're about 7,000 transactions per second, which is faster than Solana's 4,000, almost by double. That's a pretty big feat in my view. And so what does that all mean? Well, Dominic is saying that this can 10x within months, not years, months. And what is very important to understand about this is if you've been in crypto for any length of time, this transaction throughput, transaction per second metric has been just the big thing that no ecosystem has been able to resolve or solve. I mean, I remember back in 2017, Tron and Ethereum and all of the altcoins were saying, we're going to do 1 million transactions per second. There's still cryptos today that are swearing that they're going to do that. And they don't even have more than 10 transactions per second on average. So how are you going to go from 10 to 1 million? Let's go from 10 to 1,000 first, right? But they're not doing it. The other indicator here is that they're not processing these transactions, potentially because people are not using the network. Now, when we're talking about internet computer, why is internet computer number one? And not just number one, but number one by a lot. Okay, look at the numbers right here. Internet computer, this is according to Token Terminal, which uses, I think, aggregate over the last 365 days. Internet computer's value is 6,500 per second. Solana, about 4,000 per second. Tron, 107 transactions per second. Tron said they were going to do 10 million transactions per second or something like that. Here we are, almost a decade later, they're at 107 transactions. And so this can indicate that they can't process those and or they don't have enough transactions to do this. But why is internet computers transaction per second increasing at such a substantial rate? The answer to that question comes down to where we are and what ICP is developing. Internet computer is the AI blockchain. It's the AI technology. And what we've talked about for a while is you need a very high throughput ecosystem in order to process AI compute or just high power compute, right? It's the same thing. If you want to have a payment network, you need that network to be instantaneous, not wait 3 minutes for a transaction to confirm. Because if you're at a grocery store, you're not going to be standing there for 3 minutes waiting for your card to get approved, right? It needs to be near instant approval. And so a lot of blockchains have not been able to achieve this because they cannot process the transactions that fast. And from an AI perspective, if they can't even do that from a transactional perspective, they can definitely not do that from a computational perspective, because the network needs to be able to handle this high throughput. And so when you're talking about AI, artificial intelligence, what is it? It's very high performance compute. It's constantly, taking up all the data, trying to figure out an answer to the question or whatever the prompt is. And so that takes up a lot of transactions, that takes up a lot of computational data, and it needs a very high performance network. Internet computer, it's not only there, but they've proved that they can surpass the fastest blockchain, Solana, by a factor of almost 3 or 4 times, right? And so you see these little spikes in transaction throughput on the network. And in my view, this was all before they released the main AI component of the blockchain, which they call Caffeine AI, which is what Dominic says is the self-writing internet, where you can create dApps by just telling the AI what you want to create. And it will code it, it will go through the code, check for errors, and I mean, it's pretty revolutionary. And we're going to be doing a lot of videos on the capabilities of Caffeine AI as they continue to demo and release more and more functionality right here on the channel. So make sure you guys are subscribed. That way you never miss a new video. And that brings us to the next part of the video, which is the ICP Alliance. Now, before we get into the ICP Alliance, I want you guys to understand this is competition, right? The entire blockchain and crypto space is competition, not just competition amongst each other, but competition amongst the big AI. And this brings us to Mario. Now, if you guys are not aware, Mario is one of the largest shows on X. They have Twitter Spaces or X Spaces on a regular basis, and Mario, he has a pretty big show where they kind of talk about everything going on in the world, and he has 2.2 million followers. He posted this the day before Dfinity announced the ICP Alliance. The day before ICP announced Caffeine AI's launch. The day before this major summit, Mario posted this. He said, "We aren't talking enough about the Internet Computer Protocol. The Internet Computer runs entirely on chain, eliminating the need for traditional cloud infrastructure. In just 4 years, it has brought the vision of a world computer to life and evolved into a fully fledged, enterprise grade solution designed to support scalable, secure, and decentralized applications." Mario said that he is happy to announce the IBC Group's partnership with ICP Hubs Network. A live event is taking place in Zurich on June 3rd to celebrate the partnership and the larger vision of the Internet Computer. The director of incubations at the IBC Group will be in attendance as part of the jury. Will be selecting a kick-ass ICP startups to support in their journey to launch and beyond. The future is being built right before our eyes. So I want you to understand that the conference that they had, the World Computer Summit, it wasn't just about showcasing to the world what the developers have created, but it was also about getting partnerships, getting startup incubators, getting accelerator programs, right? It's almost like a hackathon where they bring all the developers together and they look for the smartest and the brightest and the most eager to build within those ecosystems. And it seems like what they're doing here to accelerate some of these programs, because again, granted, he's talking more about the compute capabilities, but if you take compute capabilities along with what AI narrative and the AI journey is really kind of being developed around the world, especially in the US, I can almost guarantee at this point that like every major AI executive knows about the Internet Computer Protocol. And so if I'm thinking that, I would imagine Dfinity, which is developing Internet Computer, is thinking that. And they probably know this because they're probably getting calls from people and emails from people and investors who want to understand like how they can get this capability and this technology integrated into their business or into their network or whatever the situation is. And so this is where the ICP Alliance comes into play. And I think that this is pretty big because we know AI is being built out. We know it's being developed. We know also it's going to be monetized. And through this, people are going to be looking for data sovereignty, right? To own your data. Because otherwise, your data is going to be traded, like quite literally. It's going to be traded. Similar to what they do like with the advertising companies, right? They collect data from all these different points to see what they can sell you. But you have no real control over that data, right? They just sell it to each other, which is like pretty amazing. And so when we're talking about the world of AI, this is a whole different space. And I think that a lot of major companies are seeing that some of these walled garden AIs or these corporate AIs, that they're going to have bias built in. And it's going to be very hard to determine that bias. And that could cause problems, right? Especially if you own a business and you're looking to the AI to analyze your data and give you output onto how you can improve your business, how you can make more money, how you can make your teams more efficient and all of that. But if there's bias built in and you can't own that data, especially if you're a corporation, you don't want your trade secrets or something that you're working on to be gathered by a competitor. And if you're utilizing these corporately owned AIs, there's a potential that that's going to happen because you don't know the security. You can't see the code. You don't know what the safety of that data looks like because you don't own your data. The AI company owns it. And we know what happens when companies have data, right? They get breached. And so having the self-sovereign internet or self-writing internet, which is what Dfinity is talking about, to get there And to expand this, I do think that a lot of investors and a lot of incubator and accelerator programs are looking for the next phase, right? They're foreseeing the problems that are going to come with not owning your own data, with all these AI systems, and how this can be very negatively impactful to a business. I mean, imagine your business puts all, let's say you're using OpenAI, right? And your business puts all the data from your business on the OpenAI platform to gather the data from it and give you answers, right? How do we improve the business? How many employees should we hire, fire? What should we pay them? What, all these kind of things. Now that data gets hacked. Now a competitor can see what you're working on, what you're doing, what the AI is guiding you towards, and that could be really detrimental to a business, especially if you have competitors stealing that data. That's where the self-sovereign internet or the AI, decentralized AI compute come in. And I think that a lot of investors are looking at this and foreseeing the problems that are going to, that maybe not have arisen yet, but will. And they're looking for alternatives to that where you can protect your data. It's immutable because it's on chain. I think that's kind of what they're looking at. Maybe I'm wrong on this, but I don't know. Either way, the chief business officer at the Definity Foundation has now launched the ICP Alliance. Let's understand what the ICP Alliance is. So basically, if you go to the ICP Alliance website, it says lead the next web, build sovereign cloud and apps, become the go-to partner for clients racing towards data sovereignty and self-writing apps. Internet Computer Protocol Alliance offers leads, solution blueprints, early technology access, and engineering support for faster delivery. Think about this. Effectively, what they're saying is, if you want to build AI on the next version of a network, come to us. We will offer you leads, right? Who is looking to build, like, I'm sure companies are going to Dfinity and saying, hey, we want this and this and this. How do we get that, right? Well, you have to have somebody building it, and you have to somebody create that capability and technology. And so to do that, right, they are probably working with some of these developers. You can see right here on the Dfinity website, they have grants, I think $200 million total in grants that are available for people who are going to build on the internet computer. And so they'll be the connector, right? You join the alliance, they'll connect you with who you need to connect with to build something. The engineers, the teams that are doing this, the companies that understand how this all works, solution blueprints, right? You have customers and you have all the data, and you need to figure out how to make your business more efficient to make the customers happier, maybe not raise prices on them, and keep them as customers and keep growing the business. How do you do that? Well, there's solutions for that. And I'm sure they're probably going to use AI for that as well, right? Analyze the data and figure things out. But again, for a company to build that on their own from ground up, it would take a very long time. I mean, Internet Computer has been doing this pinpoint focus for 4 years, and we're still at the very early stages of it. Early tech access, right? So getting access to what they're building before it gets released. And we know that they're doing this. I mean, you could look on the data, just even in transaction throughput. You see a spike here in transactions, a spike here in transactions, and a spike here. This was September 2024, December of 2024, and then middle of 2025. This is when Internet Computer started really developing the AI capabilities, and in my view, they were testing. And then right here, this aligns perfectly with the release of Caffeine AI and this World Computer Summit. Major increase, bringing internet computers to the largest throughput network on the planet with 12,000 transactions per second. And Dominic, again, he is saying this is going to 10x within months, which tells me, yes, this spike here was from them testing AI capabilities in a walled garden before they even released the product. And so imagine what's going to happen after they release the product, after these companies start using it, after they start building on it. The throughput is going to increase, in my view, for sure. Anyway, and engineering support for faster delivery, right? So if you already have the teams building things and now you want to accelerate that, the Alliance, they're going to have the resource. They're going to have the developers around the world that are looking for the companies that want their technology to be integrated. And so this is a very smart idea for the ICP Alliance. Enterprise and governments are re-architecting for sovereignty, right? Owning your own data, security, AI, and digital assets. Deliver your new technology paradigm to clients, right? You have sovereign cloud apps and AI, prompt-driven app factory, universal interoperability layer, internet computer. While they've reinvented what it is to interoperate with other ecosystems. So we have bridges like on Ethereum, we have oracles like Chainlink, and now we have chain fusion capabilities through Internet Computer. And because Internet Computer can compute data and give a response, is effectively thinking, it is able to read and write on other blockchains, right? Similar to like a wallet can do. And so other ecosystems can't do this because they can compute. They're just binary things. Like, did this happen? Yes. Okay. Smart contract. But the internet computer smart contracts are more complex than an Ethereum smart contract or an Oracle on Chainlink, for example. And then built-in security and governance. This is what we were talking about as well. And so there's unlimited use cases. You got self-writing apps, the ICP compute network, and sovereign node infrastructure. And so this is what I think is going to accelerate a lot within the AI space and internet computers network. They're going to have consulting and advisory members and partners, building and integration partners and members in this alliance. And they're going to have different levels, right? You're going to have a member, you're going to have a partner. Members show clear interest and foundational skills in internet computer solutions, seeking to grow their footprint in the ecosystem. Meanwhile, partners bring a strong track record of ICP success and are fully committed in driving the long-term growth. Very, very interesting stuff here. And no other blockchain is doing this. I mean, they're not even close. Not even close. Solana is the next fastest blockchain out here, but they don't even have AI capabilities. Now, I did a recent video called Solana Targets ICP. I would definitely recommend watching that video, where we talk about money being pumped into Solana to develop and grow their the AI capabilities. But I don't think they're going to get there. I don't think they can get there. And specifically because the Solana network is built for transactions. It's more of a binary type of ecosystem, right? Does this wallet have the money? Yes. Send it to this wallet. Okay. Transaction confirmed. That's really all Solana can do, as many other blockchains. It's really the only thing they can do. They don't have the ability to compute. Their nodes are not like nodes for AI capabilities. And so I don't even know that Solana would be able to achieve this if they wanted to, and if they were building it, which they are. And so we'll have to keep an eye on that. And so the AI conversation, I think one of the reasons we talk about it so much with internet computer is because, yes, internet computer can do a lot of things. But what is growing in the general technology space, AI, right? It's not transactions. There's hundreds or thousands of networks and blockchains that are going for payments, that are going for transactions, that are going for smart contracts. And so the competition is so fierce in those areas. But in AI, there's really only one blockchain that can do this: internet computer. I mean, we've talked about artificial superintelligence, the alliance between Fetch AI, SingularityNet, and Ocean Protocol. They merged in 2024. We're a year later, and I am literally sick of saying this, but they haven't done anything in a year. They haven't created anything. They haven't launched anything. They haven't shown us that they're actually developing the same way that internet computer is from an AI perspective, launching real AI products and real AI capabilities and fast transaction throughput. And so there's no other one. If big money wants to get into decentralized AI, there is only one, and that is the Internet Computer Protocol. And this is one of the reasons I think Mario and the IBC group are watching Internet Computer so closely, because they understand this is the only one. And so from a price perspective, because I know a lot of people keep saying, but Cryptoviser, you keep saying all this good stuff about Internet Computer, but the price keeps going down. And yes, while it is true the internet computer price is not where I think a lot of people would want it, we have to keep this in mind and take everything into perspective, because The internet computer price did have a massive drawdown when it first launched. I don't know all the details of why that happened, but a lot of it definitely seemed to be market manipulation from the likes of like FTX and Alameda. But here we are multiple years later. So it doesn't matter what happened back then. It matters what happened today. What is, not what if. And so, yeah, we're at 526. But remember, September of 2023, we're at $2.93. We went all the way up to $20, which is about an 8x. And there's some people who didn't take any profits. Price came back down to $5. Now with the release of the AI capabilities and a slow trickle, I believe when the mainstream AI narrative picks up, OpenAI maybe goes for IPO, maybe XAI is going to go for IPO, some of these other AI companies are going to do the same thing. When that narrative hits, all I'm saying is faces are going to melt, like quite literally. People are going to be on the floor melting into the ground with shock at how high the price of internet computer goes. Personally, I believe that they could achieve a 10x from where we are today. It's about a $3 billion market cap, so 10x would bring it to $30 billion. And if you look at go look at Coin Market Cap or whatever data aggregator you use for coin prices, and look at the market caps of the coins that are above or at $20 billion. And ask yourself, do these chains, do these technologies have what internet computer has? The implementation, the network, the developers, the users, the actual data on chain that internet computer has? And if the answer is no, those are overvalued, and or internet computer is significantly undervalued. And so to get to a $30 billion valuation for the number one and only AI capable chain on the planet, when we have blockchains that have 40, 50, 60, 70, or take Solana, $80 billion in market cap, and they can't even do half, literally, just from a transaction perspective, they can't even do half of the peak of what internet computer is able to achieve. And so I don't know why the market is so averse to focusing on internet computer. I do think a lot of it has to do with how internet computer launched and the price went from $800 down to $2. I mean, people probably got pissed off about that. But we're in a different age now. And if we look at the capabilities of the internet computer protocol and what they're doing and what they're launching and what they're releasing and what the capabilities of this network is compared to these other blockchains, it's there. And granted, there's still things that need to be fixed, right? I personally believe internet computer needs native USDC issuance. But at the same time, maybe they don't. Maybe they don't. Because at the end of the day, this is a compute network, right? It's not a network that is trying to achieve what Solana achieved or Ethereum achieved or Avalanche, right? They're really going for something very different. And so maybe they don't need USDC because it's not a trading platform. And maybe USDC will not be the native AI currency. Maybe it will be Bitcoin. Maybe it will be ICP. I don't know. But we also have to keep in mind chain fusion capabilities, where internet computer has connections through what they call chain key cryptography to 13 other chains, including PP Coin, which is like, why do they have access to PP Coin and Shiba Inu Coin? Like, that seems like a waste, but I don't know, whatever. There's no volume on those chains at all in chain key cryptography, but this is basically internet computers bridge to the other ecosystems. And we're seeing a lot of growth here, specifically in the Bitcoin interoperability and the USDC interoperability. And so, yeah, I mean, there's so much going on in the internet computer ecosystem. And I think this is the only channel that you can get, valid, unbiased opinion on this ecosystem. And really an ecosystem that my view has changed over the years, because my videos from 2021, I'm like, no, this is a rug pull. No way I'm going to buy this. Insiders are selling. Then we found out what happened with FTX and Alameda, and it became very clear. There was clear manipulation. Insiders were not selling. This was manipulation of the price. And whether we're going to get to those prices ever again, I don't know. But we definitely have room to run when the internet computer price is at, $2 or $3 billion market cap, and there's coins that have no capabilities, no real technologies, no partnerships, no dApps, no interoperability. And they have 40, 50, $80 billion market caps. It's unbelievable. Anyway, let me know what you guys think down below. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. That way you never miss a new video. Give the video a free thumbs up. And let me know how you feel about 10xing internet computer within months, according to Dominic, and also where the internet computer is now launching the ICP Alliance to help cultivate more use cases and more building on ICP. Hopefully you guys are doing well. See you guys in the next video. Invest responsibly and crypto on.